So hi everyone, I'm Marissa Meyer. I'm the author of Cinder.
And I'm Sarah Maas, the author of Throne of Glass.
So when we were told that we were going to have this opportunity to talk to you guys here today, we got in touch through email and we started chatting, and we had the idea to kind of do a nod back to the Oprah show. And it was going to be extravagant. And we were picturing a stage, and we were like, we could get really cozy chairs.
I think we actually asked them for like a potted plant.
Yes, maybe. Mugs of coffee. And then our publishers were like, no, we really just want you to talk about the books.
So just imagine we're in like a nice Oprah stage setting.
Yeah. So we are going to mix it up a little bit, though. Usually when we present about our books, we of course have to talk about our own books, but we're going to swap today. I'm going to introduce you guys to Throne of Glass, and Sarah's going to talk a little bit about Cinder. Do you want me to go first?
I can go first, I guess. I was actually really excited when they told me that I was going to be doing this presentation with Marissa, because when I heard about the deal for Cinder, like way back in the day, I totally flipped out because I thought it would be so cool, and then I finally got to read it, and it was one of my favorite reads of 2012, probably one of my favorite reads of all time. So it's a wonderful retelling and a wonderful book, and I was actually a huge fan of Sailor Moon growing up, and I don't know if you guys know about Sailor Moon, but it's this,
I do.
Yes, I know you do. It's this Japanese anime, and it's really hard to describe, but it's fabulous. And Cinder actually has elements that are a little similar, and as I was reading the book, I kept thinking to myself, where was this when I was a teenager? Because I would have flipped out. It was so good. And I don't think we got to talk about Cinder during this whole presentation, but Cinder is basically, can you hear, am I talking close enough to this? Cinder is basically the story of Cinder, who is a cyborg but also a pretty well-known mechanic, and the story begins with Cinder working in her shop in the market, and the handsome Prince Kai comes in with a request for her to fix his android, right? It's an android, a robot. And from there, Cinder gets swept up into this world of politics and intergalactic intrigue. And I read it in one sitting. I actually just didn't even look at my phone the whole time because I was so swept up, and it's just a brilliant retelling of Cinderella, and obviously I'm a huge fairy tale fan. I've been a fairy tale fan my whole life, and I could probably spend this whole presentation talking about all the brilliant things that Marissa did with the retelling, but my favorite one, just to tell you guys a little bit and give an example of how smart and clever she is. So, you know, in the legend, Cinderella has her pumpkin that's turned into a carriage. Well, in Cinder has a beat-up, junky car that she comes across in a junkyard one day. And Cinder has a horrible stepmother and a really crummy home situation. And to Cinder, the car becomes a symbol of freedom. And she begins to repair the car out of the hope that she will escape her stepmother and go from New Beijing to Europe and kind of start her life over again. And I thought it was really cool that, one, Marissa, took the pumpkin carriage and made it into a beat-up old orange car, but also that she changed the way, like the symbolism of the pumpkin and the carriage itself. She took it away from the romance and the ball, and even though she does take the car to the ball in the book, the purpose of it actually becomes something empowering, where Cinderella, or Cinder, in order to escape her fate, has to create the vehicle of her escape, which I just thought was really cool as a retelling, but also really empowering and great, as a woman reading about another woman seizing her own destiny like that. I should probably stop babbling about how much I love this book. I'll just take over this whole presentation and talk about Cinder.
That was an excellent buzzing.
Yeah, I just might have fangirled a little bit over you, but it's a great book. The characters, the world, the plot, and I'm gonna beg someone for an arc of Scarlet, the second book, because I might just put this in my. If you see me swipe this, it's because I'm taking it home with me. I can't wait to see what's up in Scarlet. Hooray!
Thank you. Oh, I'm blushing.